Good afternoon. Welcome to Art for the Ageless. And today we're going to do figure drawing. I am your instructor, Francesca Schomberg-Solano, and I am delighted to see you all here today. Let us begin with, well, wait a minute. I promised I was going to begin with tools because I have a lot of tools in front of you. First off, you will see our aluminum figure from figure class number 1. Pick it up and give it a little squeeze here and there. I don't mind. You are not going to hurt this figure. We're going to use this to help us demonstrate figure proportions and all of the things the wonderful human body can do. It is fairly well proportioned, it's not perfect. And you'll see that if you bend the arm here, thank you, that the elbow should come just about where the waist is. Okay? So let's do that now. Let's take our figurine and squeeze it and bend it to form our elbows. And of course the hands. You can do most anything. I stapled one foot. That's why you will be able to do this. Make him fall over. Make him go skating. Make him do just about anything you want. He can run, and we'll be doing one of these figures soon. And you should be familiar with one arm in front of the body. So if you take your figure now, pose him, and turn him around slowly, you will see that from any angle, you should be able to draw this figure fairly accurately. Also, bulk is important. If you start drawing teeny little lines, you will forever be lost. But if you draw bulk, and this is my method, then from this bulk, this volume, you will find the shape. And that is where it gets more exciting. I made this armature on a lark. My brother used to do sculpture in the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. This is my first armature. But anyway, then you put clay on it. So that's the way that they do that in the museum. And I too can bend him in any shape or form. And I nailed one foot. See, that works. Okay. The next thing I want you to look at is your dry erase board. All the materials we use in class are non-toxic. Nothing's going to hurt you, okay? I promise. Okay. And, of course, our dry erase markers, which are all supposedly low odor. Now, if you find you get a little tickle once in a while, don't worry, it is also non-toxic. However, if this method bothers you, I am not forcing you. There's a lot of paper on your tables, and there's a pencil. So if you just don't agree with this marker, use the pencil. You also are getting various kinds of paper choices. This is, of course, your manila school paper, your white sulfite, 80 pound, and a variety of pencils. Your pencils are sketch pencils. Oops, there, goodbye that one. I knew that was going to happen. It was a medium. I could have left it on the floor. The soft ones are better. Oh, and these cute little fellas, all right? The dry erase marker eraser. These are great. These are really darling. Also, later on, we're going to see if we can get into some pastels. Maybe not a lot, but just to get a little touch. And, of course, the tray for them. Okay, let's get into it then. For our first selection, we're going to just do the figure. But before that, I would like you to take your finger and just hold it in the air, because my technique is the spiral. So start with your finger. And we're trying to specifically intensify and strengthen your visual abilities, okay? All right, so I'm going to start with the head. And as you do this, try to picture it. Shoulders, chest. Should have pushed them up a little more. Chest, waist, pelvis. One leg to the knee, leg to the knee, and up. There he goes, and he's running, and his feet. Okay. All right, we did the 2 arms. All right, so it's going to be this kind of motion. Let's just practice that one thing. Let's just practice that. Take your markers out of the bag. I don't expect you to put them right up to your nose and inhale. All right, we're not doing that today. No. But I do expect you to give it a try. Again, she went and did it. She had to put it up to her nose. I'm not going to say your name. I knew you tell somebody don't do it, boom, they're going to do it. They don't care. Okay, so let's start off with just making a spiral. Okay, let's just have some fun with it. Hold it. Don't hold it this way. Try to hold it so you get the most out of it. And let's just make the spirals. Nobody cares. La la, okay? All right. Tornadoes are going all over the place. I think some people call this scribble. Okay. Now, if you haven't finished filling up your paper by this time, you're tight. So we have to loosen you. Okay, erase it. Remember last lesson we were saying destroy this, destroy that? Well, this one is just simply erase it. All right, you can take another color. Now remember, I want you to fill the entire paper as quick as you can. Ready? Go. Top to bottom, come on. Okay, cap it. Erase it. Another one of my methods is called repetition. The more you do, the faster you go, the more you're going to get done. Okay, let's try another color. So far, I do not smell anything. Okay, let's get a little tighter now. Let's sort of like pretend we're doing shoulders and a chest and a waist. Okay. Cap it. Hope you filled your paper. Remember what I said. If you want to hold it in your arm, if you want to balance it on the table, such as like this, that's fine. A lot of us used to do that in art class. We would just balance it like this at an angle on the table. Okay, erase it. Anybody bothered by the smell? Raise your hand. No? Good, great. All right, let's, by the way, when you put this down, there's a half a piece of manila paper. So if you want to just put it down on the paper, because Sarah sanitized these tables right before you came, okay? And we don't want to put a dry erase image on it. All right, let's take another color. And this time, let's think about if this is halfway, let's try to aim so that the waist or the hips, okay, the hips are about there. Let's try to aim so that there's a little space at the top. And here we go. We're just going to make, there's the head, a little bit for the neck. There go our shoulders. There go our chest. Waist, okay, hips, okay, there's the hips. Back again here. Elbows and up. Elbows and up. Okay, legs. to the knee. And when you get to the knee, make a little extra circle, a little extra spiral. And we're going to just bend them a little bit. When you get to the ankle bone, the good thing about this is you can do anything you want and then just get rid of it. All right, let's erase it. Let's go on to the next one. And if any of you are starting to think, I just erased my masterpiece, how dare you? All I can say to you is, your ego has gotten bigger than last time I saw you. No, you did not erase your masterpiece. Okay. This is a person running. And Sean, I'm going to work from this board and go over it. And you do it at your in your marker boards, or you can put a piece of paper down and do it with a sketch pen and a sketch pencil and white paper. So whichever you want to do. Let me see what this is. Okay, medium. I'm looking for my soft charcoal, which is darker. All right, we're going to start. Are we okay? All right. About here is about halfway is our pelvis waist area. Okay, I think I need to move this just a little bit. Not messing anybody up. Okay, let's start from the head and the neck. And just think, mass. Okay, shoulders, shoulder, chest, arm, elbow to the waist, across the body, hand. We don't see the other arm. How are we doing? Do it and do it fast. Pelvis. By the way, how many did a little bit of homework and watched Figure Class 1? Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. More on that pelvis. Inner leg, kneecap, muscle, narrowing toward the ankle, heel bone. Other leg. Narrowing, ankle, heel. I always like to make the feet a little bit bigger. I will now do it on the dry erase board, or the whiteboard, call it. Okay. I like to mark halfway. Give it a little bit, inch at the top, and there I go. Shoulders, arm across the body, chest, pelvis, knee, leg up. The calf is always a bigger muscle. Kneecap. May I see your effort so far? Please hold them up. Good, good. Very good. Okay.
Do you want to show?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Thank you. I was going to show my master. Oh, be quiet. The masterpiece thing. No, there's more to come. There's more to come. Okay. Erase it. Let's go to the next one. What is happening to you now is your brain is starting to get that visual imprint, and that's what we're trying to develop today. This one is a little harder. It is a figure that is sitting in contemplation. Shoulders, head down a little bit, eyes downcast, arms coming across, hand on the knee, little bit of indication there is a seat, and the other leg, hand on, okay? I'm going to do it first here and then quickly there. Remember, we're doing quickly, we're thinking about mass volume, okay? Okay. Let's try the medium. Okay, here we go. A little bit of space here. Just to help you out, you may want to draw a line, a bending, okay? So try that. I don't think people can see that. Ugh. Just broke. I hate it when it does that. Okay. Okay, I'm doing this darker so you can see that sometimes it helps if you draw a line. Okay, starting at the head. And the neck. Shoulders a little downcast. Okay, I'm running out. Arm is going to be, okay, if my waist is about here, I'm going to put my elbow here. And just stop right there. Then I'm going to go back to the chest. I need to do my legs, so I'm going to do my hips. I'm running out of my product, so I'm going to go into my pastels. Okay, that's good. Incidentally, if you ever want to go into your pastels, that's fine with me. Okay, this was to my elbow. Here's my hand, so I'm going to go down. A lot of people argue, is that the way you make a hand? That's not the way I would make a hand. I don't care how you make a hand. Make it your own way. You're not doing my work. And down, and across at a bend, and on the other knee. So we have one hand firmly planted on the knee, and this is coming out sort of at a bit of an angle. Hand on knee. Muscle, the calf is always larger. Down to your heel and foot. Okay. I'm going to do it on the whiteboard. I'm going to start forgetting. Okay. Hold them up quickly so I can see at just what point you are right now. I see improvement. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's move on. Erase it. I was going to do it again, but I want to make sure I get all of my work in today. Our next one is going to be a little more difficult. And this is one I had prepared for the first time around, and we never got to it. This is a woman in grief. So we have a full figure of a head down into the arms, coming around side view, and kneeling, and one leg up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, again, use my pastel. You may use either one. First, I want to do the line. So if my head is going to be down, my whole idea is going this way. Yes?
Is there a halfway line?
If you want to do the halfway line, yes. Usually your halfway line is always going to be around the pelvis and the waist. So you're pretty safe if you do this, cutting your paper in half, folding it, and also having some area at the top free. You need to know which way this figure is going. All right, let's start with the head down and the shoulder. The shoulders are going to bury the head, elbow, and it's just going to come in like that. Our back, bosoms, pelvis, you don't need to show everything in order to show form. One of the main things we're going to do today is try to dress our figure. But there's no sense dressing it if you can't see it. Okay. Again, I'm going to go to my dry erase. I think I'll try to do this one. Okay, this is about halfway. This is our general, this is where our pelvis is going to be. I'm drawing the legs in ahead of time. And this is another technique too. You can just kind of slide. And you can use two colors sometimes. But I think I will just stick with the black for now. All right, going into it a little bit deeper. Shoulder, arm, to bury the head more, the back, front, chest, pelvis, again the calf, narrowing down to the ankle, heel, foot. You can make all the corrections that you need to make as you go along. Visual memory. I have repeated this so many times, I could do it with my eyes shut. Would you like to show me your product now? Nice, okay. Okay, Sean, let's run around just a little bit if you want to. Show Sean anything that you consider your best work. Oh, yeah, I forgot to erase it, did you? You made us erase it. The other one was my best work. Oh, stop that. How many of you have never done this before? Never, ever. Good. Good, good, good. Thank you, Sean. Okay, erase it. Next step. I think I told you before, our instructors used to give us live models, but then he said, okay, 3 minutes. What? Yep, that's all you get to do the model, 3 minutes. And so we'd moan and groan and move our pencils as quickly as possible. Never could get everything in. But little by little, we learned it's not necessary. Just get that image, get that movement, get that gesture. All right, now we're going to get into it a little bit heavier. Homeless man. You can start with the paper or your whiteboard. We're just going to get the figure in. Then we're going to take the white paper and your sketch pencil and do it on the white paper, all right? And then our next step, of course, our last step, is to get into the pastels. I am not going to give you a lot of technique in pastel today other than to say this works and this works, okay? That's it. And watch your lights and darks. With pastels, you go from light to dark. If you go the other way, you're not going to see anything. All right, I'm going to start with the whiteboard. Hold it sideways. And we're going to get just the gesture, of course. Okay, where's the pelvis? All right, let's try the center. I don't know if that brown works. I'm going to do the black erase. Yeah. Okay. We need some adjusting here. Okay. And again, I'm going to say, stay away from the edges because you never know what you want to do. And he's sitting up against a wall, so I'm going to curve him a little bit. And his head is down into his shoulders. He's cold. Every drawing has a story. I don't even know if this man is still alive. If he is, he's probably in his 80s. This is a real man, 42nd Street, New York City, 1967. And he's all huddled in. He's sitting there. One leg is up. Angle. And the other leg is just about straight out. And extending a little bit beyond. Okay. How are we doing? I see somebody shaking her head. That's all right. We'll get to the ballerinas and the geisha girls in a minute, okay? All right. So let's erase it and take our white paper and your sketch pencil. There you go. Okay, everybody's like, oh, thank God, we're using paper. I hope this works, as this pencil is, again, about halfway. He's leaning this way. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I don't know how well this is showing up. Good? Okay, good. All right, let's get his head in there. Let's get his shoulders. His chest. Remember, his arm are tightly crossed in front of him. Now, because I want his hand here, I'm going to darken it a little bit. And you can adjust anything you want. If you want to make his head bigger, fine. Make his shoulders more massive, fine. Then you might say, well, this doesn't look like anything. That's okay, you're just practicing. At least you know where everything is. Now I'm doing his pelvis. And down. If you want to have a little atmosphere, such as where he is. Of course, he's in a corner. All right. Now, take out your pastels from the little box or the bag and place them on the lid. Everybody has a lid. It's either square or round. The toweling, of course, is for your fingers to help out. Good, you didn't give yourself one. So we're going to go just one step further. Lay the pastels out on the square or the circle. I hope you all got a square. Just lay them out so you can grab them immediately. Don't be afraid. I already broke them, so I knew you were going to break them anyway, so I'll break them myself. Get a little bit ahead of you. All right, let's see. Try to find something in a sort of a pale blue or purple. And there's two ways of doing the pastel, and I'm going to mark this paper up. There's either the corner, the very tip, where you get this kind of a mark, or you can do it with a little broader and get this mark, or the entire thing, and you'll get this kind of a mark. All right, so you don't have to experiment if you don't want to. Then with the little finger, you can blend it this way, and you can blend, again, light into dark. All right. I started with the dark because it's a sad scene, it's a night scene. Not much is going to happen. He's just going to sit there. I might want to leave that because I might want to darken that. You don't have to use that much pastel. You can spread it. So let's just get some color in. I hope by this time you'll be able to see what you're doing better, that you'll be able to see the volume. Okay. Okay, in you go. All right, let's take a little bit darker color. Let me see. Maybe a brownish, if you have a brownish color around. My pastels are so dirty, I can't tell one from the other. So maybe I want to put that in there. The best thing about the pastels is that you can take these little tiny strokes and blend it or not blend it. So another thing, balancing, if you've got a darkness here, then you have to put a darkness here. So I want to do this darkness here. You want a little more contrast, so I'm going to take a darker color, maybe a charcoal. I want to put his glove here. Suggestion, that's what we're doing. We're not doing something immediate. We're doing suggestions. Suggesting a cap. Also, you need to, goodbye. Also, you need to think about where your light and your dark is going to be. So I say the light's coming from there, so the dark is going to be in here. Where else? Okay, maybe dark over here. Maybe some dark over here. So what about my light? Okay, take about an orange or a yellowish and don't have any clean fingers, so I'm going to use the manila paper, and I'm going to use my tissue. So you might want to contrast, and that's another thing. I think we do need to do another lesson on color mixing and color opposites, because you need to know that certain colors will enhance or bring out other colors. Such as if you have a yellow and you want to bring it out more, then you look for a purple. And you can bring it out more. And you can mix your colors a lot. Okay. All right, so yeah, this is a smudge. So write your name on it, or in order to prevent smudging, a lot of smudging, the newsprint is wonderful. Just take the newsprint, put it over your pastel, and take it home that way. All right, let's go to the next set. Okay, here we go with the ballerina. Again, she came from a spiral, and we dressed her. So let's go back to our whiteboard. And we're going to practice. We need to remember there's got to be a little bit more space at the top. We need to know that she's going to be just about in the center. Her foot's going to go out here, halfway. Okay, are we ready? Best is yet to come. Here we go. Head and shoulders and chest and hips and extended arm halfway at an angle and up, other half. Down and leg to the knee, leg to the knee, down, calf, ballet slipper point, up, calf, how we doing? Would you like to show me? Raise your hand if you would like to show me. Good. Good. Okay. Visual memory. Erase it. Let's take our white paper now and see what our eyes and our mind remember. Take your pencil. Again, I need to watch it because halfway, halfway. I'm ready, and I'm going on with the head. I'm using my method. Tiny neck, shoulders, arm extended, straight up, chest, tiny waist, arm down at an angle, pelvis, leg to the knee, leg to the knee, a little bit above the other knee, let's say at an angle going this way, and up at an angle. Calf, ankle, toe, shoe. Take your dark, either a dark blue, well, all right, let's start with our light. That's what I said. All right, let's start with our light, see what happens. Let's go over our drawing with our pastel. Choose whatever color you want. If you want to blend it in a little bit, that's fine. Degas used to spend endless hours at the ballet studio. I say he was a mean old man. Just to make the ballet dancers just pose. And even though it was uncomfortable. Well, that's a whole nother story. Okay, now we're going to take something darker and a little bit more risque. Let's not get too dark. We're going to see about giving her some clothes. Give her some little straps. A little bodice there. I wouldn't get too interested in her face. Just start getting interested in somebody's face, then you're just surely going to fall flat. You might want to get interested in hairstyle. Anything else, you need to be careful. Okay. And try to keep the dark on one side. Okay. Now we're going to draw her little tutu, and it just balloons out like this. It's just little balloons, just like that. And yes, it's going to cover her legs. But this is how it was done. So now you can go ahead and take another blue or a purple or anything you want really and draw in the rest of her costume. Because now you have control over the figure. So now you have control over the costume. And you can start with your little marks. I went off my paper, so I'm not going to get too much in the toe shoes. And throw in any other color you like. You can put your light over your darker blue. You can add different blues, purples, pinks, anything you want. Definitely experiment with your pastels. I know I haven't taught you enough on the pastels, but that will come, okay? That will come. Right now, we just want you to get a little taste. Dare to show? Hold them up, please, let me see what, oh, that is really nice. Sean, I think we need maybe a few shots here and there. Okay. Thank you. All right, please be ready for Sean when he comes with the camera. Share. I like it when you just add a lot of color. I like that, the pink dress. Very nice. So you know where you get these figures. All right, go into figure drawing number 1, make your armature, pose your figures, do anything you want. Also, I watch videos, and if I see something I like, a pose that I like, I'll make a quick sketch of it. And Mary, did he see yours? Okay. And then I'll clothe it. There are so many ways that you don't need a live model. I mean, where am I going to find a live model, right? I'm home. Thank you. Okay, let's go on. The boxer. Okay, we're not going to put him in pastels because there's a lot of flesh tones that I myself have not yet explored. So I'm not going to make you do something that I'm poor at. Show myself up. No, I did him in oil. He's on my website. It's Joe Lewis. So that's where you'll find him. Right now, I sort of like this because it had force and bulk to it. So let's go to our whiteboard and just for the fun of it, let's get some bulk. This guy didn't work out. This one worked out. All right, are we ready for the boxer? Okay, here we go. Leave him a little bit of space at the head. And there he goes. And he's sort of buried a little in his bulky shoulders there. The name of the painting, The Champion. That's exactly what he was. He was a champion. And a little extra here. Focused. And his pelvis region. Pair of shorts there. Okay, now we're going to go into one of his legs was back like this. I took this from a video clip of when he was doing the fight, and I don't remember who he was fighting at the time. Massive legs, strong legs. This is another thing. Every picture has its story. If it doesn't, you make up a story. Okay. Hold it up. Let me see what you're up to. Good. Good. Okay. Good. I know it's a little bit harder when you have a limb in front of the body. Okay, let's erase that and go on. We still have a few more, and we're not doing too bad with our timing. Let's see. Oh, are we at the geisha? Looks like we're at geisha. Let me see what else we have. More geishas? Ah, okay. It looks like we're doing pretty good. This is a real woman. She's in her 80s right now in Kyoto. And she has been a geisha all her life. And when they showed her story, there was a little photograph of her on the wall And I said, I like that pose. So I just did it. So let's look at our geisha from a back pose. We're going to do a dry erase. And I'm going to start just very simply, but I am going to put a little bit of the bun up the top and the slim neck, her shoulders. And we're just going to see one of her arms coming down this way, bent at the waist and up. Her main thing is she is holding a fan. She's a very slim woman. Let's see. This is the leg you can see. I did watch Memoirs of a Geisha. I was really impressed with her walking in those shoes. I can't even walk in high heels. So, it's a very simple drawing. But when we do it on the paper, we're going to do it very lightly because we want to do our outlines a little bit darker. All right, let's erase this. Get our white paper, our pencil. I will do mine a little bit darker so that you can see it. And a little bit smaller. Okay, so here she is. I love the way they do their hair. It's very special. Very delicate. Arm to one side. Mostly her back is showing. Pelvis. Fan. The leg that is showing. Kneecap. I hope that you do have a little space at the bottom so that you can block in those magnificent shoes. And then the other leg in the back, very slim lady. And her other shoe. You say, well, that doesn't look like too much. No, it doesn't. It's her form. It's her image. And that is something that we need to think about when we look at somebody or anything, to look at the image. Okay. Now you can either do it in a darker pencil or get a pastel and work with that. I'm going to try keeping my pencil. I don't know how dark I can get. If you're going to draw a face, you better be careful. I need to be mindful of her hair because that is part of the beauty of drawing a geisha, is to get the correct hairstyle. collar of the costume. It's sharp. Because I'm getting very linear, I might be discouraging people. But the fact is that you don't have to be perfect, as long as you are getting the impression. Center is tucked. Now maybe I want to go into my pastels and see what I can do. Maybe that's pretty. So if you want to just dust a little bit of your pastel here and there, please feel free. And if your partner has a pastel color you want, please share, of course. Again, putting it dark, blending it in. Usually the costume has a lot of many different shades to it. And if you put one color up in the costume, then you should try to repeat it in another area. If I'm going to put black at the top for her hair, then I must be sure to put it somewhere at the bottom. And luckily, I have the shoes. The face, of course, is painted with a white color. That's another thing. If you want to totally blend something and make it very light, if you take your white, it'll just blend everything perfectly. So I'm going to take my white, and I'm going to go on the other side. Oh, I touched it with a dirty finger. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And if the light is coming from the left, that's where you need to put more emphasis. Hold them up and let me see how you are doing. I know this one is a little harder. People are clenching their teeth. I can see the teeth being clenched. I've ruined it. You're trying to copy me. I think we're just going to go back to spiraling again. I just want to encourage you to not be limited by not having something to look at, right? You can even look at yourself in the mirror and just try to do something with that. All right, hold them up and let me see what's going on. The reluctancy is, well, that's good. That has a form. I see some form. I see some people trying to do detail, okay? And that's where you're going to go wrong. You can't do detail, not at this point. You need to do mass. You need to get that visual impact first. Let's do this guy and go back to our whiteboards and just go back to doing mass. Okay, just get your dry erase marker. And this man is in total grief. And he is just totally slumped. So I'm going to slump his shoulders, head almost totally down, and he is just miserable. Okay, so chest. This one is going to be hard because, of course, we're putting our hand down on the ground, and I don't care if his hand is enormous. You need to go back to bulk. So we're going to put him down. Pelvis, leg up. Yes, I'm going right straight back to I don't know what you're doing. And the knee. Why? Because you've gotten too picky. And I did that to you, so I apologize. I think I'm going to take a second color and I'm going to try to see if I can get that arm back. Well, now that's interesting. That's another thing you can do with markers, is you can totally start with one color and go over it with a darker one. So I'm going to make a darker line where I want to emphasize him. So here you see, this is his elbow. Downcast. Shadow here. Totally collapsing on the ground in grief. Look for images in your computer that will show you models or just people doing poses that intrigue you. You can get a whiteboard in the dollar store. You can buy the markers in the dollar store and practice that way. Practice your spiral methods. Want to show me this one? Good. Okay. Put you through it today, didn't I? You hate me. Okay. Erase it. I'm going to show you one progression. We're not going to do it because then you're totally going to throw the whiteboard out, everything else at me. So we're not going to. This was my last one. So I just wanted to show you how things progress in my mind. I take a model that, yes, she was a studio model way back in the 70s. I take the pose, I do my spiral, and then I transform it to the black and white, the pencil, and add things. And here I decided she was going to do a fan dance. And yeah, I sort of went crazy with the geisha business and extended it. So this is kind of a progression that you need to go through, where you make your bulk model and you begin to dress it your way, whatever you want to do with it. Make it yours, okay? Not mine, yours. All right. Practice at home, please. Your folders are for your work, and take the newsprint and put it on top of your pastels. Please put all the materials back together again, and you may either pass them to the right or just place them on the table when you leave, and we'll collect them, okay? Well, Sean, I guess that's it. I want to thank you very much for coming again. Next week, please bring back your pottery, all your clay works that may have finally dried, and we'll do some painting next time. And I will preview the lesson after that, which is printing, and it needs a lot of explanation. So please don't miss next session, okay? Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Thank you.